Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to history. Today we are going to get back to our regular study in our history books. We have completed the Pennsylvania project, and so we are going to go back to our regular history textbook. If you remember, before we started the Pennsylvania project, we were working in chapter 2 of our book. And we had just completed lesson 3, which was about the Industrial Revolution. Remember, we are talking about the states in the Northeast region. And lesson 3 was all about the Industrial Revolution, the invention of products, the factories that made them, and all the new techniques and things that were being invented and built during that time period, the Industrial Revolution. We're going to take a few minutes today to read a little bit of a story about a young boy who was a factory worker more than 200 years ago. In this time period that we have been talking about, the Industrial Revolution. The pages here, pages 60 and 61, are a portion of a story written about Smith Wilkinson and what his experience was like working in the factories during the Industrial Revolution. Listen and follow as I read, and then we're going to talk about some questions at the end. This is called My 16-Hour Day. Can you imagine if a day is 24 hours, you work 16 of it? We're not even in school that long, are we? Read with me. Smith Wilkinson was a real boy who was a 10-year-old factory worker more than 200 years ago. This is what he might have said about his life. It was 5 days before Christmas in 1790 when I started my first job. If it weren't for the factory bell to wake all the workers, I'd never be up on time. That's because my shift started just before sunrise. I'm Smith Wilkinson, and I was 10 years old when I worked at Slater Mill in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. It was the first factory built in the United States during the Industrial Revolution. Before this time, most people lived on farms and made almost everything by hand. During the Industrial Revolution, inventors made many new tools and machines. Factories were built to make goods with these inventions. I was lucky to work at this first American factory that made yarn from cotton. All work, no play. 4 of us boys worked the breaker machines. These machines broke up huge bundles of cotton called bales that came from southern fields. We worked barefoot, picking through piles of cotton to pull out all the dirt, leaves, and dried cotton pods. After that first day, my feet ached and my cotton apron was filthy. But I couldn't complain. I was earning $2.82 each week for my family. I had it better than most because Mr. Samuel Slater, the mill's owner, married my older sister, Hannah. In fact, my whole family worked with Mr. Slater. My father helped build this factory. My brother David helped build the machines. By January 1791, 5 more children between 7 and 12 years old joined our crew. I moved to the carding machine. It had big, round cylinders lined with metal teeth that raked cotton into a soft rope. I stuffed the cotton rope into tall metal cans for the spinning frames. The frames spun these ropes into yarn. I worked Monday through Saturday with a 30-minute breakfast break and a 40-minute dinner break. We worked in daylight because we didn't have electricity in the factory. Workdays were only 12 or 13 hours during winter, but we had 16 daylight hours in summertime. All the machines ran on water power. That's why Slater Mill was along the Blackstone River. Sunday was my only day off, but I had school. University students came to the church in our factory village to teach us basic reading and writing. From worker to owner. I eventually became a manager at the mill and learned to work all the factory's machines. When I was 27, I opened my own mill in Pomfret, Connecticut. It was so successful that I opened another mill in nearby Thompson, Connecticut. I even built villages for my workers and hired many eager children like myself. Can you imagine going to work at 10 years old in a factory? That was the life of young children 200 years ago during the Industrial Revolution. Let's look at the think about it. I would like you to write these down, please. Number 1, describe how Smith Wilkinson earned his weekly salary. Remember, he earned $2.82 each week. How did he do that? Well, he ran the breaker machines, right? The machines broke up huge bundles of cotton. He worked barefoot, picking through the piles of cotton to pull out all the dirt, leaves, and dried cotton pods. Number 2, how do you think factories that manufactured or made items with new tools and machines helped change people's lives? What do you think? With these new machines and the factories that could make goods and products, how do you think that would have changed people's lives? It probably saved them a lot of time, don't you think? Number 3, how does the life of this child in 1790 compare with the life of a child today? So for this number 3, jot down a few things that are similar to your life today, or maybe not similar. Is there anything about a child in 1790 that is the same as your life today? What is different? Welcome back to Chapter 2, boys and girls, which was all about attracting people to the Northeast. We just finished the Industrial Revolution, and so today we just wanted to take a quick look back at what life was like, especially for a 10-year-old boy. Jot down the answers to these 3 questions, and if you have any questions, feel free to email. Until next time, bye-bye.